Hi, beautiful people from around the world, and welcome to Lovely J Podcast with Miss Cole Bowden. Guys, it's 9:30 a.m. We are headed out to physical therapy. It's pelvic physical therapy. Never knew a such thing existed until I needed it. So I've been doing my exercises, which is basically squeezing the vagina. I should have said warning first, but that you gotta squeeze those pelvic things down in there, the lady parts. And that's the exercise that we're doing for it. So ladies, if you're having trouble with incontinence or with your organs dropping before or after intimacy, if you're having pain in that area, you might could talk to your doctor about doing some of those pelvic exercises. I don't want to tell you to just go ahead and start squeezing and letting go, squeeze and let go. But I'm not going to lie, it really has been helpful. And I've been doing it now for 2 weeks, and I do it probably about 5-6 times a day. And that's what my therapist asked me to do. She told me to do it that many times a day, up to 50 times a day. So I'm squeezing and releasing. Squeezing and releasing. Gripping on the bed. Let me stop. That's old school, right? That gripping on the bed. But that's what it's kind of like, gripping. That's what it's kind of like. Had to blow up my sister passing by my mom's house. The thing is, women, once we get over 40, things just start going its own way. Like, we can't... If you like Pound Town, I don't know. You might have to be like, easy down or something. I know this may be too much info, but look, I'm just grown, and you grown, and some of us need this information, because I wish I would have had it when I was in my earlier ages, and I would have enjoyed what I could have enjoyed then. But as we get older, our body changes, things get old. Men, their plumbing don't work the way it used to. And for us women, our grips and muscles don't work the way it used to. And we have to do things to help get it along the way. So if you're dealing with incontinence or just those organs dropping. And you know what? It was a lady. When I used to work in this place in Robbins, North Carolina, called Ithaca. It was a woman named Deborah. Never did know Deborah's last name, but we were close as crap. We were really good friends. Now, Deborah was like 45, 49 years old. To my like 20-some years old. I've always hung around older women. I don't know how it ended up like that, but women my age, I never got a chance to really hang with. I don't know why. But anyways, she was like about 45, 49 years old. Up in her 40s, I know that much. And she would come back. She was one of those white ladies. Now, I don't know if you got any white friends, then you know they do not hold back. When they start talking about anything about intimacy or anything about their bodies, they really not shy. Some of them are. And she wasn't shy about anything that she was going through. And every day, she had to go to that bathroom about 4 or 5 times during our 8-hour work period. And go down into the vagina and push up what she was calling the uterus and things. She'd be like, girl, I'm dropping. I gotta go. I feel it. It hurts. And she said it feels like cramps and things. So what she would do is go into the bathroom, and she'd reach her hand down in there, go into her stuff, her package, and she would push it back up. And then she'd be all right. But she said that's what the doctor told her to do. And I mean, she did it often. She wasn't ashamed of it. And I'm actually glad she told me that. Because once I started getting older and I started feeling my organs dropping like that, that was something that I would do too. I knew to go ahead and push it back up. Because you can push it back up. But if they come all the way out, now you're going to need to go on to the doctor. You're going to need to go on to the ER. But if they don't come all the way out, you can take your hand and just easily just hold it there and apply pressure and push up the uterus and all that stuff. And it'll go back and you'll feel better. You won't feel the strain. You won't feel the cramps. It'll feel a lot better. So that's how I've been taking care of things. However, now I'm in this pelvic therapy. And this is going to be my second time going. But I'm glad she gave me the exercises to do because I can feel the strength in my core. It's all about the core, folks. All about this core thing. Well, once you get into that core, get that core getting stronger, it's a lot better for you walking wise. And look, this is nasty, but let me tell you, when I said walking, it reminded me of what I read on the paperwork. You know how you have to fill out the paperwork to tell, you know, what you're doing and what you're not doing. Why is this gum? Y'all gotta hold up a minute. I gotta spit this gum out. This gum is making my mouth so juicy right now. I'm getting spit from everywhere. So let me spit this out because I can't keep trying to talk and I guess chew. We'll let this window down. I'm gonna get back on topic. Actually, I'm not gonna get back on topic because I lost my train of thought just like that. What was I saying? Doggone gum, distracting. Well, let's just talk about the pelvic thing. Oh, yeah, I know what I was saying. When you go into the office, you know you got to fill out this application, right? Information sheet that basically tells symptoms and stuff you're going through or you're having or you have had before. And it said, do you be walking and farting? Walking and farting. I did not know was a sign of a weak pelvic. And I had to ask the woman, I said, so you saying that if somebody's walking and they can't hold their fart in, because, you know, you're supposed to be able to squeeze and hold your fart in. I did not know that. She said that's a sign of a weak pelvic floor. And so that's what we're straightening today on me. And I said, well, that happened to me coming in here. I was walking, and as soon as I got to the desk, you know, little ass started trying to come out, and I'm trying to hold it in, and it's not listening to me. But yeah, if you're walking and you're loosely farting, but you're trying to hold it in, and it's still pushing out, you may have a weak pelvic floor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing you. I'm just telling you what I read on that paperwork. And I was like, I know so many women. And I know men that's like that too. I know some men take out walking and they cannot hold it. When they start getting up in their upper ages, I think my daddy may have been dropping them loads just to be doing it. Because sometimes he would do it and laugh. But I know a lot of women who do that. They'll take off walking and next thing you know, it'll come. And don't be eating somewhere with them, because if you're out eating and they got that loose, flabby pelvic floor, that's just going to ruin your food. It's going to ruin your day. So, that's just something to pay attention to. I never paid any attention to it. I've been doing it for a long time. Walking and couldn't hold the fart in. And I know that's what it is, folks. I know it sounds unladylike, but that's what it is. It's a fart, it's gas, it's air. And if you can't hold it in, she said your anal's supposed to be able to squeeze and hold it in. And it's just like when you use the bathroom, when you gotta pee, you're supposed to be able to hold, those muscles are supposed to be able to hold that pee in until you get where you're going. And it's when it becomes weak, you end up with incontinence. That's why you can't make it to the bathroom on time. You got weak muscles. Those weak muscles. Yep. So just thought I'd share that news with y'all as I'm traveling down here to go see about my weak muscles. I'm actually glad I don't go around people doing that though, because thinking about the Fort Wise, that is just... But some people cannot help it. And now that I have a better understanding for that, I can have a little more grace, extend a little more grace to those who do it. Some of them anyway. Now, if they do it and they burst out laughing, they probably did that on purpose to ruin your lunch, or they wanted what you got. You know how it is. Sometimes you can be around people and you're eating something good, and if you don't offer them none or give them none, they'll do something like that just so you be like, here, I don't want it no more. You got siblings and you grew up, you know what I'm talking about. Because that's what siblings do when we were younger. We get around each other. We want what you got. You know, you might lick your finger and touch it. Hey, this is mine. To keep anybody else from getting it or asking for it. Back in the day when we were kids. But now that we adults, we need to be acting a little better, right? I am coming through Eagle Springs, North Carolina. I am not far. No, I'm about 15 minutes out from my appointment. Now, let's move on to something else. That's about all I want to tell y'all about the pelvic therapy thing for now. Once I learn more, I'll share it with you. I don't mind. I think sometimes that's why God has me here, to share my experiences with others, so that, because I'm not ashamed of anything that I go through. I'm not ashamed of most things I do. Really not. I mean, I learned how to grow up out of some things. I forgot to turn off the ringer. I learned back when my dad was in the hospital, before he went on to be sent home to die on hospice. I learned that you got to enjoy life out here. There are going to be some things that do shame us. Of course, it got to be, because how we going to get double for our shame? And the Bible is fulfilling. And the Bible does say that God will give us double for our shame. So there is a point in life and a season in life when we will go through some shameful moments and experiences. But at the season that I'm in right now, I'm not ashamed of the things that I've been through, ashamed of things that I have done, because I've made right with God on all of those things. As many of the things as I can remember, I've made right with God. And in my eyesight, if God has forgiven me for those things, in which He said in His Word that He does forgive us over and over and over and over again, you know, so why should I walk around with my head down or acting like I'm condemned, even if people are condemning me for the things that I may have done? Long as God loves me, that's what matters. When it comes down to it, you just got to be yourself. I'm not trying to live a life where I look back and I got regrets. Speaking of that, that's why I was listening to this older lady. I may have said it on last night's podcast, but I was listening to that older lady again today. I had to play her like 3 or 4 times to just get it through my head. That woman said, when you go into a relationship, we're talking about man and woman. When you go into a relationship built on love, and even if you don't fully love that person right then and there, because you know when you first starting out, you may not fully love that person. And it's something that you grow into. She said, I wish we could fall upward, but we fall inward. She said, when you go into that relationship, go in with the best of expectations. Go in with an open heart and mind to love that person to the best of your knowledge. And you know, there's so many divorces out here now, and breakups and all that stuff that tears our heart up. But she made so much sense to me. She said, go into that thing happy, ready to experience life together. I'm not trying to sound like a fantasy or like a little movie, one of those Disney princess movies, But what I am saying is she is so right. Why you want to go into a relationship if you're going to expect anything less than joy, happiness, and peace with one another and being able to take care of one another? I don't want to date just to be saying I have a man. And I thought about that thing, and it goes back to the shame thing, because I'm so shy sometimes, and I don't like being shy, but it's a trauma response, and I'm working on it, because I felt really bad. Now look, I love my boyfriend. I do. I love him, and I went into this relationship thing with an open mind, just like that woman said. I come into this thing, I'm over the moon, I'm over the hills. Whatever a brother need to do for him, I'm there within reasoning of what boyfriend and girlfriend relationships do. Okay? Now, I felt bad, and it was because we had my daughter's pool thing. My granddaughter had a pool party, and most of my family's there, siblings, and my mom there. And I'm so happy and excited, and darn it, there's a 1-lane road ahead. I did not know they were working on this road. I should have left earlier. Anyways, my mom was there, and I was excited. I said, oh my God, this is going to be the first man I ever introduced to my mom. Because I promise you, the other guys I didn't introduce to my mom. They kind of like introduced themselves to my parents, because I was shy then too. So this time I'm like, I'm going to do something different. I'm really feeling this brother. Now this is the brother for me right here. And I'll say, this one right here, this is my husband right here. That's what I be saying. I don't know. I just felt like that. I did. I felt like that. And so I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And I didn't think nothing about being shy. I didn't think nothing about being scared or anything like that. And there is a 1-lane road here. Y'all, they're always working down here. I was happy to go to introduce him. And then soon as we get in front of my mama, y'all, I froze. You hear me? And I'm talking about, I love this man. Now, this the only man I ever been with in public. Just letting him, I've been in a relationship before, but the things I do with him is mature. Anything I do with him is mature. Except for when it came down to meeting my mama. Y'all tell me, why did I shrink like a kid? And instead of saying, Mama, I want to introduce you to my man, I looked and I said, Mama, do you like the cake? I looked and said, Mama, do you like the cake? I broke my own heart with that one. I said, I can't do it, baby. I can't. Y'all, trauma is real. Everything in me want to scream and tell the world, this is my man. Want to tell my mama, look, Ma, I finally got a man that love me, that don't mind, that respects me, that doesn't cuss me out, that doesn't want to fight me, that wants to just love me and just be in my presence. That's what I want to tell my mama, but that's not what came out. What came out is, do you like the cake? I got some work to do. That's inner work. Because still inside of me, there's a little girl that's afraid of her. And she's 96 years old. She hasn't done anything to me in the last couple of years. But still inside of me, that subconscious mind thing is still there. And I've got to train myself to get up out of that. Because I froze. I felt like I was going to be judged. I felt like she was going to say something mean to me. And if you never had mommy issues, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. I had mommy issues up until I'm going to say maybe 2023 or 2022, around that time. So it hasn't been that long that I really got over a lot of stuff that she did to me and has said to me. And for some reason, even though I forgave her, and this is where that part comes in, we have to resist. We have to submit ourselves to God and resist that temptation, and the devil will flee. Because that couldn't have been nothing but the devil. Because I really wanted to tell my mama that, look, after all these years, I finally have a man. And I wanted to tell her she was right. When she looked at me, she said, you got a man. Because you smiling different. That's what she told me at the last appointment that I took her to. But at the time, I didn't have a man. At the time, we had just, we had went out to eat, but we wasn't in no relationship or anything. And that was because of the leaf thing. We're supposed to be raking up the leaves. Mama. I love my mama, y'all. I really do. I truly do. But I don't know. She put a fear in me of judgment. That's what it is. It's the fear of her judgment and condemnation that probably is what stopped me from just saying, Ma, here's my man. Now, I'm not ashamed of my man or anything. We be everywhere together whenever we are together. I love being on side of him. I really do. And I hope he feel the same way about me. But I love being on side of him. I love when we at home together. I love when we in public together. Because he's always just being respectful and things. But that side of me, it still need work. And I hope that he understands. He said, don't worry about it, baby. Whenever you get ready, you can. But I do worry about things like that at times, because I haven't been a girlfriend in a long time, y'all. We're talking like almost 14 years. I've been on the single planet, and I'm trying to adjust to the relationship thing. And you know, do you know, after you've been single for so long, you done did all this work on yourself, you know, to get through what you had to get through. And then once you get back into a relationship, if it's been long term, if you've been long term chronically single, it takes work to get back and adjust to being in a relationship. It takes work to say, okay, it's not just me anymore. Everything that I do now is going to reflect on this relationship, and it do. If you do something to put your relationship in jeopardy, it's a reflection that hits both of you, because you are in a relationship. It's not the same as marriage, but if you do plan on going that way, yeah, it holds a lot of weight. It's work on my part, because I had these mommy issues, and some of that stuff that I grew up with, and you never know what's still in you, and you never know what still has a strong hold on you until you are faced with it. I didn't know it was going to be that hard to say. I couldn't even say my friend. All I could say was, is the cake good? And then I just stood there. I just stood there. And then I kind of looked over at him, and I darn near cried, because that's not what I wanted. I wanted to be that woman that could speak up. And it brings me to another thing. If I couldn't speak up there, how do I expect to speak up anywhere else? I mean, circumstances could be different, but that's why I'm glad I get to come on here and talk to y'all in the podcast. And I appreciate y'all who continue to comment and leave your comments and email me. Oh, the emails are good. There are people that want me on their podcast, and there are people who want to come on my podcast, and I love it. I love podcasting. Been doing it for 14 years, maybe longer. But it helps me to, this podcast here is really about my mental health, about my life, about dating, relationships, and all that stuff. And so this is where I find my peace at. I don't go to therapy or anything, but y'all know we have been to therapy together, right? But this is my therapy. Just being able to tell y'all some of the things that I experienced as a trauma survivor, as a domestic violence survivor, as just going through everyday life as a child of God. And, you know, as long as you're a child of God, you're going to encounter these things. But I just can't believe how I froze. I be around my mama a lot, but I ain't never froze like that. How is the cake? What? How is the cake? I'm sorry, baby. If you're listening, I apologize over and over about that thing. I still feel some type of way about it. So I know I got to do the work. I got to do the work so I can get past that. And maybe go up there and visit her. And he go with me one day. And I just tell her, well, Mom, I don't know, y'all. It just is what it is. But it ain't right. It ain't right. I should have the courage to be like, this is my man. And yet, that part of me just shut down. And I realized, too, that I'm shut down in some other areas, too. But he helping me open those areas up again, and he don't even know it. He don't even know how much he has been helping me just being in his presence and get me. The man gets me out of my comfort zone. Things I wouldn't normally do, yeah, I did with him. And I don't care what nobody say. You know how people be like, she didn't used to do that because, well, nobody's been like that really. But you know, sometimes people can say that. Oh, she thinks she brand new. Yeah, I'm going to act brand new because I ain't had a man in a while. And I prayed for a good one to come into my life. And just like that woman said, I'm in this thing with good expectations. He ain't did nothing to me. And I'm just here with good expectations. I'm here for the ride. The highs and the highs and the highs. But if we got to go low, we're going to do it in a way that we still there for each other. Yeah. Because nobody's perfect, babe. But you're perfect for me. We rolling, we riding. Yeah. I'm almost down here to the place. I think I'm about another 5 minutes out. Making this turn. And today's lunch, I'm not going to tell you where it's going to be at. Because the next thing you know, it might get packed. But just know that I brought the hot one sauce with me. The mild sauces and the hot sauces, you know, that show Hot Ones, where they eat the wings and they have different sauce heat levels. I got the sauce heat with me. 3 different kinds. I'm gonna get some different foods. I think one would be good with some macaroni and cheese. Try that verde sauce with it. I don't know. Nah, maybe not. I don't know yet. I have not made up my mind what I'm going to eat yet. I did not eat nothing this morning so that I can get something down here and eat it with the sauces. Might do Sonic. No. I don't know. There's several restaurants in this area. I'm in the Pinehurst, North Carolina area, and Aberdeen. This is the rich place. It's where the rich people be. Where they have them golf tournaments. I'm over here now, where they have them golf tournaments and horse stables. And you know what else? I've been so busy. And he said he would go with me to the dentist for my teeth. Because y'all know the reason why I ain't been going to the dentist, I don't want to go by myself. And he said he'd go with me. So I need to make me an appointment. And to get my eyes checked. And it do feel good to have somebody that don't mind going with me and just being there for me. I'm excited about that part. I'm excited to see exactly where our relationship goes, because we kind of think alike, which I do like that. Either we thinking alike or we mirroring each other. I don't know, but I do like that. We have some of the same goals in mind for us life together. And we just have to see. The only thing I just... it's not him, it's me. I have my days, and he don't really get to see when I have my days, when I start going through certain experiences, and I just have to withdraw back. But anyways, it's a lot of people out here playing golf today. I haven't seen this many in I don't know when. What they got going on down here? I see about 20 some people out here. I usually don't see nobody. I woke up this morning. I be waking up in tears, y'all. I'm so thankful. Words can't describe how thankful I am for what he has done and how he helped restore the womanhood feeling inside of me too, because I was having to live, in conditions that I didn't like, that I didn't favor, that I didn't want to tell nobody I was in, because okay, here we go with shame again, because that is kind of embarrassing and a shame sometimes. And it's just like my water thing. Everybody won't get why I use paper plates and things, and I really want to say a cuss word right now, but I'm going to refrain from that. Even though I want to say a cuss word, it came up in my mind, but I'm not going to say it. But I'm just going to say I don't give a freak what anybody say. If it's what floats my boat, that's what I'm going to use. I don't like using paper plates, and I told my boyfriend that I want to get to the place where I can have real glass plates, real beautiful plates, and I want to be able to serve him a dinner out of some real plates. I told him that. Unfortunately, my water does not stay on, and that's why I use the paper plates. It's not out of laziness. It's not out of because I don't want to wash dishes. I absolutely love washing dishes. I can pull my chair right up to the sink and do what I gotta do. Y'all must ain't seen my cleaning videos. I love doing those things whenever I have the capacity and strength to do it, lung capacity and strength to do it. I'm the first to do it. And that's why my little grandbaby love it, because she sees the joy that I get out of it, and now she gets joy out of doing it. But when it comes down to paper plates, plastic forks, that's where I have been using for the last 10 years. Because I don't have water like that. Even though I have water coming in now, it doesn't stay on. I'm on a farm. We're in the middle of nowhere. That's almost like desert-like conditions. We're in a drought. I use well water. I do not get city or town water, so there's always a constant supply. No, I have to use what's coming from the ground. Okay? And where I'm at is we sometimes have to wait for the wells to fill up. So why would I be sitting around with a lot of dishes stacked up that I can't wash? Would you rather have a paper plate that you can just throw away, or would you rather have the glass dish and you don't have enough adequate water to really wash it clean like it's supposed to be anyway? I mean, what's up with that? I did try that before, and it was so hard. And don't be having nothing like spaghetti in those. You have like spaghetti in those plates, and if you don't wash it out right then, that is just the hardest thing to get. You really gotta put some muscle in that. That is so hard. But I choose to use paper plates and plastic forks and things, and I'm not ashamed of it. And those of you who do not have to use that, I'm so happy for you, because I want to get like you. I want to get to the point where I do not have to use... Wait a minute, wrong road. I got to pay attention, y'all. I'm down here near my turn. I want to get to the place where I do not have to use it either. This is it, Turnberry. Yep. I want to be able to watch it. That would be the highlight of my life, is like to cook my boyfriend a good dinner and serve him with real plates. I may just go buy a plate just for the hell of it. Go ahead, man. You rich, take the road. I may just go buy him just a plate, because I'm not going to sit there and be trying to keep washing those plates knowing I don't have the water. Okay, yeah, I'm here. Saved by the bell, because I could have went on and on about this paper plate thing. But if y'all do, if you have water, so debating where I want to park at. If you have water and things, that says it's for a doctor. Well, maybe if I could swing through here. If you have water and things and you don't have to worry about that, good for you. But for me, I don't have the water like that. Like, I barely got this shower in this morning. And because I took a shower, now I'm going to have to wait and let the water build up again. So I just have water to cook with. And that's just where we're at. And there are, where I live at, the town and the county does not bring the water down in my area. And we used to this. We've been doing this since I was a kid. This is how we've been since I was a kid. So it's not that serious. It's a freaking paper plate. It's not serious at all. And if you don't like it, then that's on you. But I have seen people eat off leaves. And do we complain about that? No, we do not. Why? Because that's what they have to do, and sometimes that's what they want to do. If you like tamales, I like my tamales in banana leaves. And I don't complain about it. Because that's how I like mine. But I do want to be able to serve him. I want to be traditional. I still like the traditional rolls like my mom and dad had back in the days, where mama would fix daddy's plate, nice plates. And daddy, well, a lot of times daddy fixed mama plate more. I saw daddy fix mama plate more than I saw mama fix daddy plate. And maybe that's why I like being spoiled by my man when he fixed me a plate. I like it when he do it, and I'll sit there and I will watch him, and I know he'd be like, why this girl watching me? It's because I love everything about it. About him and all. So I take the man, I gotta take his skills too. Yeah, I'm checking this clock to see exactly what time my appointment was. Come on, pull up. Do not reply. Oh, okay, I'm here a little bit early. Ooh, I'm here a little bit early. That's kind of a lot early. I'm about 30 minutes early, so I might go in there anyway, and then about 10:20, and they might go ahead and take me. But yeah, I want to be traditional like my mom and dad is. I like the traditional relationship where we work together and no one person is bigger than the other. But, if I'm his rib, because I'm not dating just to be out here dating. Eventually, I want to become Mrs. So-and-so. I want to become his wife if that's what God wants. I want to be a wife. I'm not desperate to be a wife. I want it to be all what God wants it to be. Because if he wants it, then I know we're going to pass this thing with flying colors. We're going to pass our tests, trials, and tribulations. And we're going to get through this paper plate thing. I don't know. Maybe I should get the Mr. Ken plate. I got my son started on the Mr. Ken plates where we just close the plates up and carry them in and out with the compartments. And I already got some paper plates. Yeah. But that's why I use paper plates. It's out of necessity. It's not because I want to. It's out of necessity. Can you see? There was this one year. It was a really bad drought too. It was like the wells were not filling up at all. And this one year, I was buying like $300 to $400 worth of water. This is when my kids were living with me, and they were little kids going to school soon, and so they had to have baths and things. And I had to buy like $300 to $400 worth of water every month. And this was jug water, bottled water, and this was how we were having to take baths and all that. And so we learned how to rationalize water, and we learned how not to waste it. Because when you got to carry your own water, your buckets and stuff to take a bath, or whether you're going to wash dishes, every drop counts, and you feel every drop of it. You feel, water can be pounds. You feel it. And so by me having chronic pain and things, I'm not finna stress myself trying to satisfy others who may have water or whatever. If that's how I just live my life, that's how I live my life. I'm imperfect. My home is not the best, but it's good for me. When I woke up this morning and I felt blessed in my bed, I looked around and I didn't have no messages saying anybody in my family was hurt or anything, or nobody was going through anything stressful or that was tearing their mind up. I got a text from my boyfriend this morning. He's doing okay, and I'm praying that he do okay with his appointment today too, because he broke a bone in his foot, so he got an appointment today too. Wish I could have been with him, but I had to come to my own appointment. But for the most part, I don't give a F what anybody thinks about me. I should have just said the cuss word. No, I shouldn't have. Sometimes it can be tempting, but no. Because that's not my character. That's not where I want to flow. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. It hurts. Sometimes I do have emotional pain from certain people that I expect to do better, but then I realize they childish as hell. Some of that hurts sometimes because I be really down for people. If I'm in your life, I'm in your life for a reason. I'm not in your life to pull you down. I'm in your life to be a friend, a supporter, or maybe just an observer. But yeah, I don't know, babe. Maybe one day I'll be able to have some real dishes. That is a goal of mine, and I did stress that to him. I said, I feel so bad because I really want to serve you. And we already talked about this thing, right? Let me tell y'all what we talked about. I shouldn't be telling y'all our business, but since I'm on the paper plate thing, I'll tell you what we talked about. So on my birthday list, my 50th birthday is coming up, and I have a list that I'm doing, a list of things that are life lists that give me life. Some things I've never done before, and some things I've done before, but just wanna just wanna be doing something. And one of the things is to do sunrise. Get up and watch the sunrise. Now, I told him I want to turn it into a prayer breakfast that we gonna do this weekend, and that's one of the things on my list, which I need to call it a sunrise prayer breakfast. Get some breakfast foods or whatever foods we want. Ooh, chicken and waffles sound good, and I've never had chicken and waffles together, but that do sound good. Anyways, but it's during that time I told him that I wanted to be able someday, when we get all this stuff situated, I want to get my kitchen back. Y'all, my kitchen is full of stuff from in the rooms, because y'all know the rooms are still being worked on. I want to get the kitchen back, and I told him I want us to sit to the table and eat at the table and have the dishes. I want to hear the sound of dishes. Now, I don't know if I'll ever be able to use a metal fork or anything again, because for some reason I have allergic reactions to those. So plastic is what I have to use, even if I did have the metals. Bang. I have so many allergies. So even if I did have it, I couldn't use it because I would break out. I can cook with it, but if I eat with it, I try to eat with it, I'm going to break out. My gums are going to break out, and they're going to be hurting. So I have to use plastics regardless in that area. But I may just try to find some beautiful china for this sunrise prayer breakfast. I just really feel like this is something that I need to do. But make no mistake, it's not because somebody told me I needed to get some dishes that I'm getting some dishes. I'm getting this dish because this was something that we talked about, and I know it can come to pass. Now, how often the dish will be used, I don't know, because it all depends on how often I have water. But it don't hurt to have a little pretty dish. And I tried to buy some one time before. I don't like using people used dishes. I know Mama used to go to the flea market and buy a bunch. I might as well just wash myself right in the Family Dollar or Super Dollar, Dollar Tree. Oh, I'm in the area where the good Dollar Tree is too. We may stop by there. They got a good Dollar Tree down here. I might walk in there and grab up some things to, help make this little prayer breakfast beautiful. Because it's more about not getting in contact, but just sitting in the presence of God and His beauty. And then we did say, too, we might sit in the car and watch it rise up. We could do that, too. I don't know. So many ideas starting to flood my mind now. We'll see. We will see. Well, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here because I'm just going to stroll some on social media. And then I'm going to go into there in about 5 minutes. No, about 10 minutes. I'm going to go in there because I'm early. It's only 10:19. My appointment is at 10:45. I don't know why I was thinking it was at 10:06. I thought I was late till I looked at the email. Peace, love, and happiness, y'all. Till next time, be good people, be kind, be loving. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Peace.